As any skateboarder worth his salt knows, the deck of the skateboard is arguably the most important part of the skateboard. It is the foundation on which every other thing is built. From your tricks to your riding style and other factors, the skateboard deck can either make or mar your experience. Number 1. WhiteFang Complete. The WhiteFang Complete doesn't match the quality of products made by a reputable skate brand. However, out of the boards that we tested in this lower price range, this one clearly felt the best and performed far better than the others. Although the deck has virtually no concave, it is not as thick and heavy as the Friss or WhiteFang models, and it has better pop and higher quality grip tape. The generic trucks on this Complete are also much better than the others at a similar price point, as they are more stable, and they turn and grind decently well. The one area where the WhiteFang excels is in the graphics department. While the picture on the deck doesn't affect the board's performance and ends up getting scratched off over time, our testers and friends thought the Japanese Oni mask artwork was really cool. Even though the WhiteFang Complete is in a lower class compared to the models from more recognizable skate companies, it is a decent option for those who want to give skateboarding a try at a low price. The WhiteFang will allow for beginners to develop their balance, get comfortable riding, and learn basic tricks. However, since the overall quality is lower, some aspects can hold the skater back from progressing. The deck is not as crisp as a pro-quality board. Although it's better than some, it has a rather dull pop, which requires more effort for tricks. The deck is also slightly bigger, at 8 wide, so it's a good size for teens or young adults, but it may be harder for younger kids to control. The bearings on this setup do not roll very fast or far and don't maintain their speed very well. When the rider stops pushing and has both feet on the board, the bearings start to lose their speed rather quickly. The WhiteFang performed the worst of all during our bearing test and only rolled about 30 feet from a single push on a smooth flat surface. In summary, the WhiteFang Complete is a decent introductory model for anyone new to the sport who isn't sure if a pro-quality setup is necessary quite yet. Number 2. Magneto Mini Cruiser. The Magneto Mini Cruiser is another versatile model and our favorite for use as transportation. Even though it's called a mini cruiser, it's slightly bigger than the plastic cruisers we tested and has more options for use. This one has a larger deck of maple, with a longer wheelbase, the space between the trucks, which allows for a wider stance and gives the rider more stability and control. The deck has a kick tail and a very short nose, increasing the maneuverability and allowing for some basic tricks. The top side has a clear sandy grit finish in place of grip tape, which shows off the wood grain underneath. The wheels are thick, soft, and wide, and the bearings are fast, enabling them to roll smoothly and maintain speed on any ground, whether concrete or asphalt. The soft wheels also grip the ground well, so even at high speeds, there's a lower likelihood of slipping out or losing control. The bearings on the Magneto Cruiser were among the best in our test group and could roll about 60 feet from a single push. Similar to a longboard, the trucks on this cruiser are wider than the deck and stick out from the sides, but they respond well to any shift in weight and have an excellent turning radius. The Magneto Cruiser also comes with an all-in-one skate tool to make adjustments or replace any parts. This cruiser is a lot of fun to ride and is a great option for anyone looking for something to get them from point A to B, but it also gives them the ability to ollie up curbs and do some simple tricks. Number 3. Retrospec Quip 22.5 Classic. The Retrospec Quip 22.5 Classic is a penny-style cruiser and a fun option for all ages, but especially for kids. This cruiser is much smaller than any of the other boards we tested, which gives it excellent maneuverability and the greatest ease of control while riding. The plastic deck is only 22.5 long and 6 wide, so it's ideal for kids, but most teens and adults will still be able to have fun with it. Fortunately, for anyone who needs a little more board to hold onto, these cruisers are also available in a 27 model. Both sizes are offered in a large number of color combinations as well. The flexible plastic deck is molded with a texture pattern on the top side for traction, which won't damage shoes like boards with grip tape but also doesn't allow for much aside from simply rolling. The bearings maintain their speed quite well, and the big and rubbery wheels roll over cracks easily, providing a smooth ride on any type of surface. While the trucks are very small and aren't meant for grinding, they do perform well and can turn on a dime. With its compact size, this cruiser is great for transportation and can be stored in nearly any space. As its name states, the Retrospec Quip is a cruiser and is not designed for doing tricks. There is a kicktail to assist with control, but the small size and lack of grip tape make getting this skateboard up into the air extremely difficult and landing back on it nearly impossible. While the texture pattern does provide some traction, the plastic can still be a bit slick, so use caution when adjusting your feet while riding. Being that this cruiser is so compact, even the larger model may be too small for anyone with larger feet. Also, having such a short wheelbase requires the rider to keep their feet close together, making it harder to lower their center of gravity, which decreases one's stability. While these plastic cruisers are very agile and are the most affordable models that we tested, they are only meant for transportation and do not have the ability to get off of the ground or up a curb without the assistance of some sort of ramp. Overall, the Retrospec is a very fun option for zipping around and is great for kids improving their balance and learning how to ride. Number 4. BELEEV 22-inch Mini Cruiser. The BELEEV 22-inch Mini Cruiser is nearly identical to the Retrospec Quip in size, looks, and performance. The most notable difference is that the wheels on this cruiser light up when rolling. The light-up wheels are a fun, unique effect that none of the other models have. The wheels have bright, multicolored lights inside that begin to glow as soon as they start to roll, and there are no batteries to insert or electrical components, so they don't require any charging. This mini cruiser is even smaller than the other penny-style board, with a length of 22 and a width of 5.5, so it's meant for smaller kids, around 5 to 8 years old. The mold pattern on the top is slightly deeper on the BELEEV, giving it a little more traction, and the deck is also not as flexible and bouncy as on the Retrospec. The wheels are big and very soft, providing a smooth ride and excellent shock absorption, and the bearings outperformed the other plastic cruiser, going 45 feet from one push. The BELEEV also includes a T-tool for minor repairs and adjustments, as well as some extra nuts and bolts, just in case any fall out or become damaged. With its light-up wheels and compact size, this cruiser is ideal for young kids who want to develop their balance and roll around. Like the other plastic model, the BELEEV Mini Cruiser is meant to be used as a mode of transportation. It has a high level of maneuverability, but it is not designed for tricks or technical skating, so anything more than cruising isn't very likely. While the light-up wheels are a fun and added draw for this board, they aren't nearly as enjoyable for the rider as they are for a spectator. In fact, the wheels have the potential to divert attention away from what's ahead of the rider. The trucks on this cruiser weren't as responsive and didn't turn as well as the ones on similar models, but some small adjustments helped, and they will get better as they break in. This mini cruiser doesn't come in any larger sizes, but it is offered in a handful of colors and at a very reasonable price. Being the smallest board in our test group, the BELEEV Mini Cruiser is an option for kids who are starting to explore their interest in skateboarding, but that doesn't mean that it won't be fun for slightly bigger or more advanced skaters. Number 5. WhiteFang Complete. The WhiteFang Complete is an example of a model that would be sold at a big box store. So, while the quality is far lower than anything from a recognized brand, this is still a suitable option for any kid that's still figuring out if skateboarding is for them or not. This board will help beginners learn the basics of riding, build their confidence, and assist them in developing their ollie and possibly some tricks. The deck is 7.8 wide and 31 long, so it's a decent size for most ages, but it may feel a bit short for anyone that's fully grown. Both ends of the board are symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way you ride it, and there is a mellow concave throughout for added control. The wheels are the same size, shape, and hardness as those on similar setups in this price range that we tested, so there isn't a noticeable difference there, but they were among the hardest of all the wheels, which made riding on rougher surfaces more difficult. The WhiteFang bearings rolled better and farther than the other two budget boards, but still were only mediocre at best. This board won't be seen under the feet of your favorite pro on the X Games, but it is a decent starting point for those with a desire to learn. The WhiteFang Complete arrived fully assembled with just the deck wrapped in plastic, which is fairly standard for toy store boards. However, to fully remove all of the plastic, one would have to take the trucks off, so we just peeled it off the best we could, but there were little bits of plastic wrap left sticking out on both sides of the deck. Like the Cal7, the deck is not as crisp and snappy. This one is also quite thick and heavier than a pro board. The truck's material seems softer than any of the others, and they are not very stable or responsive while riding or turning. Although they seem capable of grinding, the instability makes it hard to reach any obstacle to grind it. When compared to those on the Element or Powell, the wheels are skinnier, harder, and slicker while riding. So, even though this Complete did not receive high marks in any area, the WhiteFang is still a possible model for anyone that's just starting.